Welcome to Life, Lessons, and Laughter with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live show. So today is Monday, and man, did I wake up great, just in such good space. And I've been busting my butt to get into some good space, and I landed. Which is freaking awesome. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today. I actually posted a video this morning completely spontaneously. I was just kind of taking a video of my backyard and the area around, and it was just so beautiful, and I was experiencing so much peace that I kind of just dropped into this spontaneous video. You can check it out on Instagram. And I worked with a lot of clients today, and that just feeds my energy. So I was really diving into this mentality. Oh, where's my phone? I just heard my mind bell. Oh well, I don't know, it's somewhere around here. So yeah, it's just this mentality, this peace. And I think, those of us that are on the spiritual path, we've been heading in this direction for the last year or so, since COVID hit. Really, it's just been this, I keep saying, just anchor in deeper into your spirituality. That's where we need to be. And I had to go through my own growing edge, my own learning curve, to get into the spiritual place that I wanted to be. And, I knew this. You never know what it's going to look like. I knew this, last year when COVID hit, really. I mean, I knew that there was a big wave of energy. I knew that if I leaned into it and dove into my spirituality deeper, I was going to come out stronger and better and more peaceful and more happy and blah, blah, blah. And then when I was getting the nudge to do some international travel, I was like, okay, cool. This sounds like a big deal. And then when I moved over to the Dominican Republic, I was like, yeah, okay, this is big. So, the bigger the step, the larger the reward. So if you're facing a tremendous amount of resistance to something, just know that once you get through it, the reward is going to be that much better. It's going to be huge. So, if there's a lot of resistance to something, like I didn't have a lot of resistance to traveling internationally or to doing anything that I've done, really. There wasn't a lot of resistance to doing it. I don't really get that much. If it feels right, I do it. I think that's kind of where I am in my journey. My resistance comes in after the fact. So like once I'm in with both feet, then I need to learn to swim. Like I jump into the pool and then I learn to swim after. So that's kind of how I have a tendency to do things. And this was no exception. Moving to the DR, of course it was new and it was a big deal, especially considering I had never traveled internationally before, but I was very, very ready for it. So the adjustments, although somewhat profound, they were manageable. Maybe because of, what I've experienced up until this point. When I moved up into the mountains, it was a whole different story. I had this unconscious image, which if anybody would have asked me at the time, I would have denied because I didn't believe that I was looking at it this way. If somebody said, hey, are you going to go through an adjustment period? Hey, is it going to be difficult? I would have been like, oh yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't have, but you never know until you get caught up into it. And I got caught up into it. I had this vision that I was going to move up into the mountains and, going to kind of redo the little house that I was living in. And it was going to be really nice. And I was going to have this handmade furniture from a wonderful local artist. And it was going to be awesome. And I was going to just have do whatever it took to get my internet set up and blah, blah, blah. And it was just going to be this fairy tale. And of course, there would be struggles. Intellectually, you understand that. But then when I got here, it was much larger than that. The adjustments were much larger. And as with everyone's life, we start understanding that the universe doesn't give a crap if I live in the mountains in the Dominican Republic. It doesn't give a crap about anything physical. Everything physical is temporary. It's fleeting, it's transitional. So the universe doesn't really give a crap about that. God doesn't really give a crap where I live or how I'm living. What the eternal perspective cares about. Ooh, maybe I'll start using that. The eternal perspective. I like that. The eternal perspective cares about whether I'm expanding or not, whether I'm finding new levels of happiness, peace, and love or not. That's what it cares about. So that's what it is always going to lean towards. So I thought I was going to have this little, peaceful getaway, and my, I'll use the internet as an example, but there were other things too. The internet, I'd be able to work, and there we go. So I had an attachment that I was putting above my peace and my happiness. And that was internet, amongst other things, but internet for this purpose of talk. So if I would have gotten the internet at this space of who I am, where my growing edge is, if I would have just had internet, then I wouldn't have grown. I would have had basically that and a few other things. Everything that I wanted set up in my peaceful little thing. I needed to not have internet to see that I was the one that was blocking the internet with my refusal to grow and to open and to remember where my peace and my happiness and my love comes from. All work is inside work. I always say that, and this is my learning of it. This is my growing edge of it. All work is inside work. Peace, love, happiness come from within me, always, in every way, in every shape. And that's what it's all about. So I needed to remember that. Now, if my internet would have worked, how would I have learned to not put external things above my own peace and happiness? I was attached, when I moved here, I was attached to the fact that I needed internet and I was going to do whatever it took to get it. And generally, especially in the United States, I'm very capable. Well, here over in the DR, a lot of my capabilities, like my speaking ability, my intelligence, doesn't really fly over here. It doesn't matter. I can't speak the language. I don't know how things work. So a lot of my capabilities were stripped away. And I had difficulty attaining what I wanted to attain, what I thought was going to make me happy unconsciously. Again, if you would have asked me, I would have been like, no, not me, man. So I had to experience enough suffering to go, oh my God, I'm really attached to this. I'm not happy. I'm not experiencing happiness. I'm supposed to be happy. I'm supposed to be experiencing peace. I have beauty and around me. I've worked, I've done things to get myself here and I'm not enjoying it. And once I got to that place, I had to really make a deep commitment to my spirituality, to my happiness, to my peace. And this is what we all have to do. The level of peace that you experience is directly proportional to the commitment you make to it. You have to be committed to your peace. You have to put your peace and your happiness above any external thing. You have to be willing to let go of your attachment to all these other things, may it be relationships, external experiences, jobs, cars, relationships, whatever else you can put on the list. You can't have those higher than your own peace and happiness. You can't. So what I needed to do was get to the place where I said, okay, if I have to drive into the city and rent a room for a few days, a couple times a month to work with my clients, I'll do it, whatever. And I'm not going to do it out of frustration. I'm going to do it out of just acceptance. Okay, that's what I have to do. It's okay. It's fine. And really make sure I wasn't just saying that, but actually believing it, actually internally being fine with that. And also, I had to go to the extent where I said, well, what if I can't work? What if my internet starts screwing up in the city, which it started to do last time I was working? Well, maybe I'm not supposed to work. Maybe my business is I'm supposed to fold my business. Okay, well, if that's what God wants, if that's what the universe wants, if that's what universal perspective wants, then so be it. Because it's not about this stuff. It's about the peace and happiness that comes from within. And I am not willing to sacrifice that for anything. I'm not willing to hold on to something and say, I won't let go of this in order to have peace. I need to have this for me to have peace. Well, I'm not going to have peace. Whatever this is, I need to let go of it. They teach us in recovery. Like in recovery, the way they say is whatever you put above God, you're going to lose. So you have to put God first, or your higher power, or whatever you call it. So, it's this is nothing new. This is just how things work. And, I needed to be willing to let go of and risk everything that I have worked for many years to achieve. I needed to be willing to let that go if it cost me my peace and my happiness, which is what it was doing because I was too attached to it. My attachment to my business, my attachment to internet, because that's how I work, was costing me my peace and my happiness. And I'm not willing to live like that. That's not what I've spent the last 17 years accruing and working on and working towards. I'm working towards happiness. I'm not working against it. I'm not working to have it and hang on to it and say that something outside of me is a source of it. There is nothing outside of me that's a source of it. It comes from within. And when I re-anchored into that, and just was like, I am willing to let go of whatever I have to feel the peace and the happiness. And if it comes, then it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it stays, it stays. If I lose it, I lose it. It doesn't matter. What I'm not going to lose is my peace of mind. What I'm not going to lose is my sanity, my peace, my happiness, my joy. I'm not willing to sacrifice that for anything, ever. And that's when I felt it just resonating and coming up from within me. It is just bubbling up within me. It was just there. And once I let go of my attachments and reconnected with that peace and that just unconditional love and feeling of support, like when you're supported, you feel supported. like you don't feel supported and then you're supported. You have to trust, leap and the net will appear. There has to be some level of trust here. There has to be a level of risk. Otherwise, we're never going to, there's no risk. Oh, well, I'm safe. So then as long as I have everything that I want, then I'll trust in you, universe. That's not how it works. We have to trust and then, so as soon as I trusted and let go and just was like, I'm willing to let go of everything if necessary, then all of a sudden that peace and that love and that joy that had been escaping me for a while, I found was right there within me again. And as it's bubbling up, I'm just looking around and I'm seeing it reflected back to me by the beauty, and I'm looking at the mountains behind my house, and I'm just seeing it with new eyes, and I'm seeing a new level of beauty that's in it, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the beauty of it. And I'm realizing that the beauty is coming from within me. This is where we have to understand, we have to start beginning to understand how powerful we are. We actually, and I know I don't usually go this deep into like the spiritual truths, but like we have to start expanding our minds to understand what we truly are and how things truly work. And my teachings are usually so down to earth, so anchored into reality, because I want everybody to connect to it on that level. But where this spiritual shift is happening, and we need to take it to another level. We need to start understanding how powerful we actually are. We are designers of our own reality. We are not victims of life. We are not like stuff comes into our external view through us. It actually comes from the ether, from the other side, from divine wisdom, from divinity itself, through us, and we birth it into our reality. It's not the other way around. We don't fix everything on the external end, and then we experience the happiness bubbling up within us. That's not what happens. We get to a place by doing our work where the happiness is bubbling up within us, the joy is bubbling up within us, and through that energy, because we're relaxed and we're open. Like, how can you be filled with love, right? Just picture this for a minute. How can you be filled with love where it's just emanating out of your body, right? And be stressed or constricted? You can't, man. When you're in that space of love, you're just open. And you can feel energy flowing out of your heart. That's actual energy flowing out into this world. You're a portal for love energy to flow into this world. And this is how things are actually manifested into our lives. This is how we find our life partner that really enhances. It doesn't enhance our life. It reflects or our love. It reflects our love back to us. Relationships are mirrors. When you are filled with love, your own love that flows into this world through you, and then it hits a good mirror and it's reflected back to you, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. So when I was looking at the mountains earlier, and I'm going, oh my God, they're just so beautiful. It's like I can feel how beautiful they are. I didn't sit there and think like, oh, the mountains were my source of this love that I'm feeling. The mountains weren't the source. I'm the source. I'm the fountain. I'm pulling this love in from the ether through my heart out into this existence. And it's being reflected back to me by these beautiful mountains, because these mountains are a good mirror for me. People are the same way. People can be beautiful mirrors for us. Abundance is the same thing. Abundance comes to us when we are flowing out, when we're open. When we're open and stuff's flowing out, everything is full circle and it comes back. So we're giving love and we're receiving all at the same time. It's cyclical. Everything's cyclical. So this is what we need to do. We need to open our hearts. We have to open our minds. And I wish I knew where I put my phone. I keep hearing it. But we have to. do the work, man. Dive in and open, find that love within you. Stop thinking that once you're in the right relationship, then you'll be complete, or things will stabilize, or once you get out of this job, or nothing external is it. It's not it. It's actually the hindrance. You need to let go of the external being a certain way. And then that's when your peace and your love comes flowing through. When you let go of your insistence that the external has to be a certain way, and then you can relax, or then you'll be happy, or then you'll be whatever. There's never a day where everything's done. Like my internet working, which it's working at the moment. I don't know if it's going to work in 5 minutes, but the internet, when it is working because I'm in alignment with the flow. And if I get out of alignment, or the universe wants to go, hey, Glenn seems to be, really dependent on this internet. Like the universe can read my energy better than I can. So if I'm getting attached to this internet, and all of a sudden it goes, hey, we're going to delay it or have it cut out or something, just so Glenn can actually act in a way to align his energy so his happiness is not based on it, that has happened already. And I'm just like, no, cool. Fluctuate if you need to. I'm not losing my peace over it. I'm not losing my happiness over it. So it is about bringing spirituality and energy into our physical world, and starting to understand that. So this is the problem with manifestation. A lot of times we have manifestation backwards. We think we are like we use spirituality to manifest things into our world, and then those things will make us happy. It's not how it works. This is why everybody I know has struggled with manifestation. Every course that I've ever seen teaching manifestation has its problems. And most people that take those courses, there's at least as many people who can't get things manifested as there are people who do manifest them. And the reason is because it's backwards. The mentality is backwards. The mentality is, I'm going to use spirituality to bring something into my world, and when I do, then I'm going to experience happiness. And that's not it, man. That system will never work consistently. Every once in a while, you'll get something. Every once in a while, you'll manifest something. Every once in a while, it'll align, but it's not going to be consistent because it's backwards. So when it's aligned, what happens is the happiness comes first, and then half the stuff you thought you wanted to manifest, you realize you don't even need, and you don't want, quite frankly, because it'll just complicate your life. And then some stuff you will want, and it'll come. It'll be easy. There's no struggle in it. So here's an example of how I was playing with it this morning. I was, my Jeep that I just got to move up here was having electrical issues, and it ended up culminating into it not being able to start. And this is something that has been off and on for the last, I don't know, week or two. So I was like, this is not going to break my peace. This is not, whatever. I could give you all kinds of reasons why I need that thing to be working. And it's all a bunch of crap, because my peace is not contingent on that Jeep. And I knew that. And I anchored into it. So when it had, we started having problems. We were driving to the big city last week, me and my friend, and this car was coming up. They drive pretty wild up here. And it was coming up basically in the middle of the road. We're over as far as we could go, and we passed so close that our mirrors hit, and he blew glass. It just shattered the side mirror and blew glass all over it, all over both of us. You know, we didn't get cut. We stopped, whatever. The mirrors smashed. The guy ended up still going, and we kept going. And you know what? It didn't shatter my peace. I wasn't going, oh my God, it's my freaking Jeep. I just got it. My mirror shut. I was so anchored into my peace that I was like, okay. And what's cool about over here is we're in Santiago, the bigger city, and it's just like, oh yeah, ask so-and-so's uncle, and he said to go over here. We drive up the street, and there's a sign with the pictures of side view mirrors there. We pull up, yell over to the guy. He tells us to park on the side street. We pull over. He comes over there and fixes and puts a new mirror in for $8. Like on the spot, got a new mirror done, you know? But why did that happen so easy? It's because there was no resistance. Oh, this shouldn't have happened. Oh my God, my Jeep, what the heck? It didn't wreck my happiness. It didn't wreck my peace. That is the key. This is how we live smoother lives. We don't live lives where nothing bad ever happens, where we never smash a mirror. We live lives where if a mirror smashes, it doesn't wreck our inner peace. And then it fixes easy. That's how. That's a spiritual life. We're not looking for a life that doesn't have adversity. We're looking for the adversity not to screw with our inner peace. That's the life we're looking for. So, and when we are, and this is like, so I'm going to draw the line a little bit even more about how we manifest this stuff. We manifested by not getting upset that mirror getting fixed that easily. And people go, oh, it's just a coincidence. So this morning, my Jeep wasn't starting again. Went back to the old problem we thought was fixed. So we go to the neighbor, get this little thing that connects to jumpstart it. Well, we've used it 2 or 3 times in the past week. So the owner says, hey, like this thing doesn't have a charge. My friend says, no, it's fine. We'll use it. So we go try it 2 or 3 times. It doesn't work. There's no charge in the thing. We come into my house to try to see if I have something to plug it in to charge it up. We don't have anything. So we go back outside. I guess we'll have to get the regular jumper cables or try to charge this thing. You know, we'll figure it out. My friend doesn't say a word, just goes over, connects it to the car again, and climbs inside. Now the hood's up. He can't see me. I'm standing in front. And decides to try to start it again. We just tried it a few times. Batteries don't get more charged the more you try it. They get less charged. Devices get less charged, not more charged the more times you try to use them. So, you know, at first my brain goes, there's no way. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't care if it starts or whether it doesn't start. My happiness is not based in this. It doesn't matter. If it doesn't start, we'll figure something out. It's okay. It's fine. And then, that felt so right and so joyful that I decided to play. And I'm like, I don't care if it starts or not, but I'm throwing some energy towards that thing. So I start going like this, just fooling around, you know, send some energy, start this thing, start this thing, start this thing. And he turns the key, the freaking thing starts up. It started up. I'm telling you, this stuff is real. Like, you know, those of you who aren't really that deeply into spirituality, I know that you're going to dismiss this. I'm telling you, so you start expanding your mind. That's why I went down this road. We need to start expanding our minds. We are way more powerful than we realize. We can create the life of our dreams. We can be in the relationships we want. We can have the abundance that we want. We can affect our external realities with our energy. We are that capable. We are that powerful. We can do that. I'm doing it. My neighbors are doing it. Other people I know in the spirituality world are doing it. We've done it before. I've done it many times throughout my life. So I know this stuff. Now it's happening again. But what we have to understand is that this stuff is possible and we can't affect our external circumstances. The problem is this is the problem, okay? When I say we can affect our external circumstances, our brain and our ego gets all excited and we start trying to affect our external circumstances. That's not why we're doing it. I truly don't give a crap if that Jeep would have started or not. There was no attachment to it. So I didn't do it to actually start the Jeep. I did it to play with energy. That's all. It was just a game. And the fact that it started the Jeep is cool and it's fun. And that's what life is supposed to be. Cool, fun. But the reason it worked was because I wasn't doing it to start the Jeep. It's the whole point. If I was attached to affecting external reality for my personal gain, it doesn't work. Because there's no growth in that. How am I a better person if I get what I want all the time? If I can just control reality and I just get whatever I want. I want a new girlfriend. I want my Jeep to start. I want a pizza to magically get delivered. I want $100,000 in the bank. How the hell am I becoming a better person through that? I'm not. That's why manifestation doesn't work consistently in that manner, because you don't grow as a person in that manner. This is how you grow as a person. This is how you find the peace. When you find the peace, all of a sudden your external reality starts reflecting that back to you. And so it's about perspective, like everything else is. So 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whatever, when I was caught up in my stuff and things weren't going my way, I was sitting in the same house, in the same mountains, in the same country, with the same dog, with the same neighbors, in the same environment, with the same situation, and I wasn't peaceful. I wasn't happy. Why? Well, everything around me was fine. And everybody on the social media was going, lucky you, you know, look at you, you moved to the DR, you live in the mountains in this beautiful place, you must be so happy. No, I wasn't happy, because happiness doesn't come from the DR. It doesn't come from the mountains. It doesn't come from buying a Jeep. It doesn't come from any of that stuff. And it was a part of me that fell into that BS and wanted to get things accomplished so I could relax. And the universe was like, nope, come on, Glenn, you know better than that. So once I went inside and found my peace and my happiness, now all of a sudden I'm looking around at the same external circumstances and I'm going, oh my God, I am so blessed to be here. The same external circumstances I was looking at going, what the hell, man, I'm not happy. Yeah, it's nice around here, but I'm not happy. Like, I'm not. Do you know how simple that is? That's what it gets to. It's the internal. It doesn't matter if you're in the right relationship or if you have a ton of money or you live in a beautiful area. It doesn't matter. And we say that, and like, this is the difficulty in being a spiritual teacher, because we say this stuff and it's the same in my own life as it is with everybody else's life. I say this stuff to myself. I say this stuff to other people, and intellectually we go, yeah, man, I got it. It's like, no, that's not it. It's not it. Intellectually understanding what I'm saying is not it. Going inside and going, I will not put anything above my peace and my happiness. And my ego goes, yeah, but Glenn, I mean, you got to support yourself some way. I don't care. No, I won't. I'll be homeless. I can't not live in peace. I can't not have happiness. I won't do that. I will not be on this earth not experiencing peace and happiness. I won't live that existence. I won't. If I have to give up my business, if I have to give up my home, if I have to, I don't give a crap. I am not. And it's that level of commitment that opens. No excuses, no contingencies, no exceptions, no yeah, but. It's times like this in my path that the phrase even this starts coming into play. Because, when my rational brain goes, well, surely, Glenn, you need to have a job to support yourself. So you're not thinking of just giving up your business. You can't do that. You can't give away that. Not that, Glenn. Yes, even this. Yeah, but how are you going to? I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to. But I'm not going to live in a space that I'm not peaceful and happy. That I am not willing to do that any longer. So yes, even this, even my business, even my house, even my dog, even anything. I don't give a crap what it is. Even that. Yes, I am willing. I'm not making something external contingent on my inner peace. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Now, the reality of the situation is understanding that why would something that loves you or wants your expansion, like the universe or God or universal intelligence or universal perspective, why would that something that's intelligent and loving, why would that possibly want you to give up things that are good in your life? Well, it wouldn't. It wouldn't want you to give up anything that's really good in your life. So if you did end up having to give up one of these things, then there would be something better that would come along. There would be. Because the point is our expansion of happiness, peace, joy, and love. How would giving up something that is good for you benefit you? It wouldn't. So you wouldn't be asked to do it. You wouldn't do it. But see, from our perspective, we think we know what's best for us. I could give all kinds of rational reasons why I need this business. It's US based. I live in the Dominican right now, and all this stuff, like how it works and how intellectually it benefits me. Like I can rationalize all that stuff. And if that's what I want to latch my reality onto, go ahead. Go ahead. It's all fleeting and temporary. We live in a temporal world. There is no safety here. So the safety I think that I'm acquiring by latching onto that belief system doesn't exist. When I'm willing to let go of that belief system and say, you know what? I don't know what's best for me, but I'm going to put my peace and my happiness first with even this, and see how it plays out. Then if it is good for me, which right now I'm having internet, so my business is going well. I'm able to continue my business. So right now it's looking like the universe is saying, no, your business is good for not only me, but others. And I'm going to support you in keeping your business and spreading your message. So far, up until 6:09 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time on May 3rd, 2021, that's what the universe is telling me. At 6:10, the message could be different. I don't know. And if the message becomes different, I am willing to go with that message. Because I understand from my perspective, I don't know better than the universe. I don't know. The universe knows better than I do what's good for me. And it wants what's best for me, and it's going to support me in it. So if it's removing something out of my life, it's because there's something better coming in. And I trust that and believe in that. And it feels great. It feels empowering that I'm not in control. Oh, Faith sees something outside. Faith, come here. So it feels good that something larger than me is in control and it's working through me. That's what feels right. That's what feels empowering. That's what feels joyful. Good girl, Faith. So yeah. So, and Sarah, thank you for saying hello from San Clemente Pier, and saying hi to Faith. Yeah, this is the stuff, people. This is phenomenal. This is really, this is why I live the way that I live. This is why I do the work. This is the important stuff. It's, sometimes I know I talked about stretching our mind and stuff, and we need to stretch our mind and start understanding that we can create what we want in our lives, but it's not about that. It's about experiencing the joy and the peace. So focusing on that, focusing on feeling the inner peace and the love, and not waiting until everything's perfect. My Jeep isn't straightened out. My water maybe. My internet maybe. But like, I wasn't just and that's just in the last few days. So I wasn't feeling this way after this stuff started getting sorted out. This stuff started getting sorted out after I felt like this. So I chose to live like this like a week ago or something, and really spent a lot of time every day anchoring into it. Glenn, do you really feel like this? Are there any blocks to it? Open, and really just opening up to trusting my Mother Earth and God and all this stuff. And once I got myself to a place, all of a sudden things started falling into place. And right before I did that, I did 10 times more than was necessary to get my internet working, and it wasn't working. Nothing I did got my internet to work. Nothing. I did way more than I needed to. It was when I did the internal work, then within a week, all of a sudden my internet started falling into place, and the water started falling into place. And who knows if the Jeep's in place or if it's not, but it doesn't matter. If I can't drive my Jeep for a while, I won't drive my Jeep for a while. If I need to sell it, I'll sell it. If I need to spend a little money to fix it, I'll fix it. Like, it doesn't matter. My happiness isn't contingent on it. That's why I know it's going to work out for the best. So this is it, people. Do the internal work. That's the name of the game. Inside. It's not about the outside. I need to find peace within me. I need to understand. And the way you find peace within you is you understand that the external isn't going to give it to you, because those are the things that are keeping you from your peace. When you say, I'm going to be peaceful, and your brain goes, yeah, but your boyfriend's an asshole, that's the thing that you need to let go of. If you go, I'm going to experience peace within, yeah, but I'm broke, that's the peace you need to let go of. Whatever the objection your ego gives to your peace is what needs to be let go of in order for you to experience it. That's your block. So dive in to experience the natural peace that's just floating within you. It's just sitting there waiting for you to open to it. And just work on opening to it. Yeah, but I have to do that. No, you don't have to do that. That doesn't have to be straightened out. You don't need to fix that. You need to fix this. You need to fix what you're inside. You need to open to the peace and the love that's already within you. Open to that. And then the external will sort itself out. If there's action you take, you'll know. But you won't be attached to it. It won't shake your peace. It won't shake your happiness. That feels good. So, yeah, that's all that's coming through. pay attention to whatever you think you need in order externally in order to be happy, and understand that that is the very thing that's blocking you from your happiness. You need to be willing to let go of even that. You need to be happy even though that isn't worked out. And once you're able to get into a space where you're happy even though that isn't worked out, or even though you don't have that, or even though this is still the experience in front of you, even though you can find that happiness, even though, that's when that stuff will start working itself out. And then your external world will start reflecting that happiness back to you. Because right now, your external circumstances are reflecting your inner state. You are not at peace. Well, if you're not at peace, if you are not at peace with if you're looking at your external world and you don't like the way it looks, and it's causing suffering. I'm not saying like you go, oh, I don't like that painting, I think I'll get a new one. Who gives a crap? That's not affecting your happiness, I hope, unless you're too attached to the painting. But if it's causing suffering, then you're too attached to it. That's what's so let go of that, embrace your happiness, and then you'll start seeing those things start switching. And your external circumstances will start shifting for the better and reflecting your inner state back to you as peace and joy and happiness. So that's it, people. That's the stuff. Thank you for watching. And if you watch after this airs, sometimes I I don't see all the, I think this platform is still having problems with me seeing some of the comments. So whatever platform Sarah is watching it on, Sarah, if you're listening still, what platform are you on? Because I can see the comments there. If you're watching on other platforms, I may not be able to see your comments, or you may be watching this at a after I recorded it. So if that's the case, I probably won't. Sometimes I go back and look at the comments, but just understand they're not live. So that's it, people. Thanks for watching. I'm going to fly and go have a great night, great week. Enjoy. And we'll talk with you soon. Peace.
Looking for more? Check out over 200 episodes of Life Lessons in Laughter, or click the link in the description of this episode to connect with Glenn directly.